So, Catherine, I'd like to share a message that I received as a child. Is now a good time?
Yes, that might be audible.
So, often as a child, my family members would say, you know, I'm egotistical or showing off.
So I hear you say that your family would call you egotistical and a show off.
Yeah.
Is there more?
No, I think that's the core kind of message I want to say. An example of that, if I was proud of myself for something and I started talking about it in my family, um, particularly with my sisters for some reason, but my brother or my mothers all would say, stop showing off. You sound so egotistical. So, yeah.
So I'm hearing you say that when you felt proud of an accomplishment, if you shared that with your family members, mostly your sisters, but also brother and mom, they would discourage that and they'd tell you to stop bragging or being egotistical about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think the way I protected myself particularly when I was younger, is to just stop engaging with them, and work harder to try and get the attention without saying.
Mhm. So I hear you saying that in order to protect yourself, you worked harder and tried to be even more so that they would observe it without you telling them what you were accomplishing.
Yeah, that is exactly it.
Is there more?
Yeah, I think the harder I tried, um, the more it seemed a bit futile. So started to give up.
So what I hear you saying is that even when you tried harder and didn't tell them about it, they didn't observe or notice. And so your hard work was futile.
Seems like that.
Is there more?
Well,
Okay.
So an unconscious decision I made as a result of that behavior, um, I would say that I began to sort of just hide my behavior, not seek it out in others, um, and disconnect rather than make connections.
Okay, so I hear you saying that an unconscious decision you made was to not connect with others and to hide your behaviors.
Yeah, it's something I realized later, but at the time, looking back at my behavior then, it was definitely unconscious because my ability to connect, um, I think, was hindered.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying is at that stage of your life, your ability to connect was very hindered.
Yeah,
Is there more?
no, that's it.
Okay.
So the way that message and that behavior plays out in our relationship, I think it's played out over and over in our relationship because that ability to connect, I still run away quite frequently as opposed to um, paying attention to it. I mean, you'll make the comment to me, you're proud of me, and I always react adversely to that as opposed to just embracing it.
So I'm hearing you say that within our relationship, it's comfortable to not connect and sometimes you run away. And in particular, I express being proud of you. It's hard to hear. Is there more?
No.
Am I with you?
Yeah, no, I think you're hearing.
Okay.
So how I think you might feel when I behave that way is rejected, um, not eyed. and maybe unload because I'm not reciprocating it.
Mm-hmm. So, what I hear you saying, when you behave that way, I may feel unloved and undervalued. I forget the third one. Can you give it back to you, Al?
Rejected.
Rejected, yeah. Am I wiki?
Yep.
Is there more?
No.
Okay.
So how can I behave differently? I think actually this course is a good example of how I could behave differently because it's a commitment to be together. And we took a walk earlier and the gate's literally locked, so I can't escape. So, but it's just a commitment of being present
Yeah.
when things are difficult.
So, what I hear you saying is that one of the ways you could behave differently was committing to coming here and participating, and you could jump the gate.
Sure.
But that you're behaving in a way of saying that you want to be here. Am I with you?
Yeah.
Is there more?
So thinking back to one of the triggers, the message that I could give myself when I'm reacting to you saying something like, "You're proud of me," is to just pause and give it a minute before I react. And then really what I'm learning throughout this course is that mirroring back. I hear that you're proud of me. Is that right? And why? Maybe engage in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, what I hear you say is that a new message for yourself when you hear me say, I'm proud of you, is to pause and reflect and narrow it back to me. Am I with you? Is there more? Okay. Here's the hard part. Now I have to summarize. So the way you protected yourself in childhood was to not engage in connection and to strive harder. And then later just not engage with people. Unconscious decision you made as a result was to not connect with people. A way that plays out in our relationship, and you wonder about the impact of it on me, is you escaping and not engaging fully and being repulsed by me saying I'm proud of you or acknowledging your accomplishments, of which there's many. A new behavior you could choose is, if I say I'm proud of you, is to just pause and let that wash over you and mirror it back to me. And the new message you could give yourself to reclaim your lost part. Ooh. See, I have a new message for you. What was your new message for yourself?
Can I pause for a second?
Yeah.
I think that really one of the important pieces for me was the very beginning. The core was probably trying to seek out acknowledgement or attention or a sense of pride, and basically being told you're egotistical. And
Right.
so it really shifted my thinking.
Right. Okay. So message you heard when you accomplished something was that you were arrogant to expect anyone to acknowledge your accomplishment. You should accomplish or not accomplish and do it quietly.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. And what was the new message you were giving yourself to reclaim?
I have to go back to my own thought about that. I actually, honestly, I can't remember it, but I think that new message that I would give myself is that it's okay to now, as an adult and in a relationship, feel pride and be acknowledged for something I've done well without it having a negative effect on me. I can just be present.
Right. So what I hear you say is the new message is you can be proud of yourself and you can accomplish things.
Yeah.
And there's no negative connotation to that. Is that a fair summary?
Yes, it is.
So your experience makes sense to me. Your experience makes sense to me. And what makes sense to me is um, definitely the times that I've wanted to express my pride in you and want to lift you up. And I think when I've said, even if I don't say the words I'm proud of you, if I say, wow, like that's amazing, Dawn, you'll downplay it. And so then I keep going. And why did you know how really proud I am of you? And so the more proud I am of you, the more it doesn't feel good for you. And so then don't you don't want to feel that success or hear me talk about it. Does that feel validated?
This validating, I think that's accurate.
Do I add or emphasize anything differently?
No.
Okay. I imagine he might be feeling in those moments discomfort. Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely discomfort in the sense that I feel like when you've trained yourself not to accept it, then it's easier to just escape. So um, that's partially why I do that.
Mm. Have I missed anything?
No,
Well, thank you for sharing.
thank you for letting me.
I'm going to give you a big hug. I'm proud of you, Dawn. Dawn, I would like to share a message I received as a child. Is now a good time?
Yes, I feel.
Okay, so a message I received as a child was that I was too much.
So when I hear you say, as a child, um, you heard that you were too much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more?
Yeah, I think it was mostly that I was too emotional or too needy or, yeah, just too much.
Okay, so what I heard you say is that what you heard was you're either too emotional or too needy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Um, an example that shows that message is um, it's actually a very specific one. There was a parent-teacher interview, and at our school, when the parents went to the interviews, the children got to play in the gym. So it was really fun because it was like unsupervised, get all the balls out. You could do whatever you want. So I was in this real high. And when we got in the car, my mom turned around and said to me, "Your teacher says you're crying at school. Why are you crying at school? Don't do that again."
Okay, so what I heard you say was a very specific example. When you're a child, you went to a parent teacher, and there's kids playing in the gym, and you were playing with the kids. It was a really enjoyable, fun time. And then after that, you got in the car with your mom, and your mom said, your teachers said that you're crying at school. Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Is there more?
Yeah, I think I would just add, I know I gave a specific example, but I think the example was mostly that crying um, was discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I heard you say out of that experience and crying was discouraged.
Yeah.
Is there more?
No. A, a way I protected myself regarding this message was retreating and crying alone.
So what I heard you say is the way that you protected yourself from that experience is that you would retreat and cry alone.
Mhm.
Am I with you?
Yeah.
Is there more?
No. An unconscious decision I now realize I made as a result of that message is hmm, think to not cry around people I love that much. Yeah.
So unconsciously you made the choice to not cry around people that you love.
hmm And just as I'm sitting here, I'm realizing more than that within that family of origin, I shall now be the strength. I'll be the strong one.
So to that family of origin, what I heard you say is now you have to be the strength.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Crying's not available to me.
Right.
Weakness.
So crying's not available to you, and you think it's viewed as weakness.
hmm Yeah. Um, a way that message plays out in our relationship is um, taking care of everyone else's needs.
So I heard you say is that in our relationship, it sounds like others, you take care of everybody else's needs. Is there more?
Oh, um, how I imagine you feel when I behave that way. Whew. How do I imagine you feel? S- Well, I think you might feel uh, lack of authenticity.
So what I hear you say is that when you act that way, you you think I feel like it's not authentic or it lacks authenticity.
Yeah,
Is there more?
no. And how I could behave differently is to um, share my feelings without fear of mm, rejection.
So I hear you say is that you could try and share your feelings without feeling rejection.
Mhm. I said fear, but it's same. Yeah, yeah. A new message I could give myself to reclaim my lost part is that sadness is a natural and welcome emotion.
So to reclaim or what I hear you saying is to reclaim yourself is that a recognition that sadness is a real emotion
Yeah,
and it's okay to experience it.
yeah.
Some more?
I would just add that I don't have to be strong for everybody else.
And I hear you say that you feel like you don't have to be strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
Some more?
Mm.
So in summary, I'm going to try to do this from memory because I feel like I try to do it better that way. Um, so in summary, um, as a child, um, one of the your can't remember how you please correct me.
Sure.
Is that when you're a child, you felt like if you were crying, um, you felt like you couldn't cry in front of your parents, or that it was viewed as though it was weakness, or I've kept the other word that you used, but weakness and unwelcome. And one specific example, when you're a child, is going to a parent-teacher night at school with your mom, and you're having a good time. There's fun in the gym, and that part of the experience was really good for you. And then you get back into the car, and your mom focused on something your teacher said, which is that you cry in school, and that your mom says, "Why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that." And as a result of that, as an adult, you began to feel as though you couldn't cry in front of other people, so you would just cry in private. And how that affected our relationship, or how that you brought that into our relationship, was that, again, you couldn't cry in front of me. And please correct me, because I can't remember exactly why you couldn't cry in front of me, because you felt like it wasn't, you thought I would think it's not genuine. Um, so what you could do differently, or how you saw you could do it differently, is recognize that it's a valid emotion. And just recognize it's a valid emotion. And it's okay to cry.
Mm-hmm.
I might have lost the place where I'm at, so. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good summary, or was there something?
Oh, yeah, that is a fair summary. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Mm.
Um, um, your experience does make sense to me, because I think being dismissed as a child, I felt dismissed as a child sometimes too. So I understand how that feels, and then I can understand how, if you're crying or you're looking for validation from your mom, and the first thing she says is that's not an appropriate thing, or crying is weak or inappropriate, it can be incredibly dismissive, and just makes you repress your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I can understand how that would really hurt and be difficult to take into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, does that sound validating to you?
Yes.
Is there something more I could actually say about that?
Um, I think maybe just the piece about feeling the need to be the strength.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And yeah, so as an adult, taking that same kind of thing and then transforming it into our relationship or others, feeling like you're the person that people have to rely on all the time, is an incredible amount of weight that you don't deserve to take on, or should take on. Um, and you shouldn't take it
Yeah.
on. So the next piece is, I imagine you might be feeling is what you are feeling. I'm going to be honest, I'm not totally sure what that means. What I think it means is, for me, it's validating again. It's understanding, or I understand that you'll be taking on too much pressure that you shouldn't be taking on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, with you on that, or please correct me if I'm.
I think I would just emphasize that I feel like things need to be enormously sad to express it. Otherwise, I should.
So here, yeah. So what you're saying is, you think things have to be enormously sad before you're allowed to show your emotions. Is there anything more to that? Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Well, thank you for listening. Mm. Can I cry? Thanks.